Could the 2024 US election be the catalyst to World War III? An unsettling question indeed, yet one that demands our attention. In this age of global connectivity, even the smallest political ripples can create waves across nations. The decisions made during the 2024 US election, their global implications, could potentially chart the course of our collective future. In the next few minutes, we will delve into the events leading up to the 2024 US election and their potential influence on the emergence of World War III. To understand the possible consequences, we must first look at the timeline of events leading up to the 2024 US election. Our journey begins in 2023. The year kicked off with significant policy changes, with the government pushing for stricter regulations on technology companies. This decision, while controversial, was seen as a necessary step in curbing the growing influence of tech giants on politics. As spring bloomed, the nation was swept up in a diplomatic whirlwind. The US tightened its relationship with its European allies, fostering unity against common threats. However, this camaraderie was not extended to all. Tensions with Russia and China escalated due to disagreements over trade policies and territorial disputes. Summer arrived, and with it, a wave of international disputes. The South China Sea issue flared up again, pushing the US and China to the brink of a diplomatic standoff. Meanwhile, the US also faced challenges in the Middle East, as new conflicts emerged in Syria and Iran, further complicating the geopolitical landscape. Fall saw the election campaign heat up. Candidates made bold claims and promises, using the past year's tumultuous events to their advantage. The policies they proposed and the rhetoric they used were reflective of the global tensions that had been simmering throughout the year. As winter descended, the country braced for the election. The political atmosphere was charged with anticipation and apprehension. The year's events had set the stage for a high-stakes election, one that could have far-reaching implications for international relations and global politics. The 2024 election wasn't just about choosing the next leader. It was a reflection of the country's stance on key global issues. The election outcome could potentially shift the balance of power and influence the course of international diplomacy. As we look back on this timeline, we can see how the events of the past year have shaped the political landscape. The policy changes, the diplomatic relations, the international disputes, all these factors have created a complex and volatile environment, ripe for potential conflict. Now, with this knowledge, we can speculate on the potential implications these events could have on the world stage. There are several possible catalysts that could spark World War III following the 2024 US election. First off, let's consider changes in foreign policy. The outcome of the election could significantly alter the United States' approach to international relations. For instance, a shift towards isolationism could leave power vacuums in strategic regions, inviting conflict. On the other hand, a more interventionist approach might provoke tensions with nations viewing this as an infringement on their sovereignty. Let's not forget about escalating international tensions. These could be fueled by competing interests in areas such as trade, energy resources, or territorial disputes. The 2024 election could either soothe or inflame these tensions depending on the chosen path. Imagine a scenario where the US implements aggressive trade policies. This could lead to economic conflicts which, as history has shown, can quickly escalate beyond the realm of economics. Moreover, the potential shifts in political alliances are another catalyst to be mindful of. The balance of power on the global stage can be tipped by the emergence of new alliances or the dissolution of old ones. Say for instance the US decides to withdraw from NATO or foster closer ties with traditionally adversarial nations. Such moves could destabilize long-standing alliances and reshape the geopolitical landscape, potentially sparking a global conflict. Furthermore, we must consider the potential for an increase in nationalist movements worldwide. The US election could either embolden or deter these movements, depending on the rhetoric and policies of the elected administration. A surge in nationalism could lead to a rise in international tensions, as countries might adopt more aggressive stances to safeguard what they perceive as their national interests. Additionally, the world is in a heightened state of technological warfare. The potential for a cyber conflict to spark a full-blown war cannot be discounted. The stance of the US administration elected in 2024 towards cybersecurity and warfare could significantly influence the potential for such a conflict. And finally, let's not forget about the ever-present risk of nuclear proliferation. The 2024 election could influence the US's approach to nuclear diplomacy. A hardline stance might discourage nuclear proliferation, but it could also increase tensions with nuclear-armed countries. Conversely, a more conciliatory approach could reduce immediate tensions but might encourage more countries to seek nuclear capabilities, thereby increasing the long-term risk of a nuclear conflict. While these scenarios are speculative, they underline the importance of understanding the potential global impact of the 2024 U.S. election. The 2024 U.S. election could have far-reaching effects, potentially even influencing the course of World War III. As we delve deeper into the potential global implications of the upcoming election, it's crucial to understand that the United States, being a global superpower, holds a significant position in the world's political arena. The election's outcome could trigger a ripple effect, causing shifts in international relations and the balance of power. A change in administration often brings about a shift in foreign policy. This could mean new alliances, strained relationships, or even the revival of old rivalries. For instance, a more isolationist approach might lead to a decrease in the U.S.'s involvement in international affairs, allowing other nations to assert dominance and reshape the world order. On the other hand, a more interventionist stance could escalate tensions, pushing nations closer to the brink of conflict. The balance of power, a delicate dance between nations, is another significant aspect to consider. The U.S. election could tip the scales in one direction or another, depending on the winning party's stance on defense and international relations. A strong military focus might deter potential aggressors, but it could also provoke them, leading to an arms race and escalating global tensions. Additionally, the election's outcome could impact global economic conditions. The U.S., being one of the largest economies in the world, has a substantial influence on international trade and financial markets. Changes in trade policies or economic sanctions could disrupt global supply chains, creating economic instability. This instability could, in turn, fuel political unrest and potentially escalate into conflict. The election could also influence global efforts to combat climate change. The U.S.'s stance on environmental policies could either propel or hinder international cooperation in this critical area. A failure to address this global crisis could lead to resource scarcity, displacement of people, and heightened competition for resources, again potentially escalating into conflict. Moreover, the election's results could impact the global fight against terrorism. A shift in strategy could either strengthen international cooperation or create divisions, affecting the global balance of power and leading to potential conflicts. In essence, the 2024 U.S. election holds the potential to either diffuse tensions or ignite them, depending on the policies of the winning party. It's a high-stakes event watched by the entire world, with ramifications that extend far beyond the borders of the United States. As we can see, the 2024 U.S. election could hold the keys to a future of peace or conflict. The world watches with bated breath, hoping for a result that leans towards international cooperation, stability, and ultimately, peace. The potential influence of the 2024 U.S. election on global conflict is a topic of grave importance. Today, we've delved into the intricate web of events and possibilities that could stem from the upcoming U.S. election. We began by painting a picture of the pre-election timeline, highlighting key moments that have set the stage for what could be a pivotal point in global history. Next, we explored potential catalysts that could spark a significant shift in international relations. These catalysts, ranging from economic policies to diplomatic decisions, are not just hypotheticals, but factors that have the potential to ignite tensions or conversely foster peace. Then we examined the potential global impacts that the election could have, emphasizing how the ripples of this one event could reach the furthest corners of the globe. The U.S. election is not just a domestic affair, but an event that could shape the world order, affecting everything from trade relations to international alliances. This exploration is not meant to alarm, but to encourage thought and reflection. It's an invitation to consider how each political decision, every vote cast, can have consequences beyond our immediate surroundings. It's a reminder of our interconnectedness and the shared responsibility we hold in shaping the future. As we move forward, it is crucial for us to remain informed and vigilant, understanding that our political decisions can have far-reaching global implications.